Arnold,
Here.
Beckwith,
Here.
Farcapisi,
Here.
Flores,
Here.
Kotsinis,
Here.
Hamilton,
Here.
Sutton, absent. We have a quorum.
Okay. What?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh.
The Warren-Newport Public Library District provides the community with access to information, kindles the imagination of children and adults, and supports lifelong learning. Anyone want to speak in public comment? I see a code over there. Is it one of ours? Okay, fine. I love that answer. Correspondence?
No, we don't have.
Okay, we're on to the consent agenda. I am removing items A, B, C, D, and H as a result of proper coaching from.
What's left?
Not much. Let's see, so what is left?
E, F, and G.
E, F, and G. So, anyone want to remove anything else? Who would like to make the motion?
So moved.
Hold on.
Wait,
George. George
Wait.
moves.
Waiting for Andrea.
Finance is off, we're good.
I thought she said B, F, and G was.
Yeah, A, B,
A,
C.
D, F, and G are the only ones left.
And H.
So which is the one that I was gonna remove?
B.
B. And B is off.
Correct.
Yes.
All right, I'm fine.
So who seconds the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, so let's do.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Okay, so these things were all removed because Catherine was absent. So we have to do it individually and you have to abstain.
Got it.
No, why don't you do that, all of them?
Oh, okay, and
Yeah,
I can make it in
yes,
one
yes.
motion?
Yes.
B.
Except B, okay.
Mhm. That one we do another motion.
I move that the board approve items A, C, D, and H.
Okay.
Who would like to second that?
I'll second.
Discussion? All right, let's have a roll call then.
Okay. Arnold?
Abstain.
Yes.
You're such a troublemaker.
Flores?
Yes. Or aye.
Hamilton?
Aye.
Farcapisi?
Aye.
Kotsinis?
Aye.
Sutton absent? Beckwith?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right, so we're on to B.
Okay,
Yes.
B, Finance Committee, so, notes on the first Finance Committee stand, unless anybody has any changes to them. But Finance Committee was going to meet again today at 6:30, but we neglected to get out the agenda, so we couldn't have a meeting. But, so, we are going to report on our activities as part of the Finance Committee reporting. So, we were each tasked with calling 3 or 4 other libraries to see who were their auditors and were they happy, etc. So very quickly, in the interest of time, Wendy will give her quick report, Celeste will give her quick report, and then me. So go ahead, Wendy.
Okay, so I spoke with Cook Memorial, Grace Lake, Lake Villa, and Zion Benton. 3 of them use Lauterbach and Amman, and the 4th one uses Eider and Casella currently. But I did, in speaking with them, get some additional information, and there were a couple of firms who were recommended in addition to the ones they're currently using, so I will pass that information on.
Some of them are in the same boat as us then, having to find it.
Well, the Zion Benton, who uses Eider Casella, did not know our situation, but they're in the middle of a 3-year contract, so I'm assuming they'll let them know at the end of their contract.
Yeah, we had a 3-year contract, and this was our 4th year, so they could get out of it.
Right, yeah, so.
Celeste?
Yes, okay. So I spoke with Indian Trail Library and with Vernon Area Library. For the Indian Trail, they are also in the process of getting a new auditor because they had been with 5 years with Waterback and Ammon.
Well,
Love
yeah.
that came in.
Is
Yeah.
that the, okay.
Yeah, you got it.
So they were very happy with them and would recommend them and had all praises. Do you want me to go through all the questions we had?
Not if they have
Okay.
Lauterbach and Avon, so
Okay.
I'll explain that in a second.
And then with the Vernon Area Library, they had, sorry, I was not expecting this. I would have cleaned up these notes.
You're doing great, don't worry about it.
Sickage is who they have. And they also recommended them but they also did work with the first one I mentioned with the Waterback as well. And I was also supposed to talk with the Palatine Library, but haven't heard back from them.
Okay. So my libraries were Arlington Heights, Skokie, and Highland Park. And they all use Sickage. Now, talking to the libraries and what you've heard are the same three names, which are Lauterbach and Amon, which is not an option for us because Lauterbach and Amon does our bookkeeping. You can't audit your own work. So they're out. Sickage is a possibility, as is our old auditors who were McClure and now they're like 8. McClure and help me out.
McClure and Sarah.
And Ann and Sarah, but now they're, I think, ADA. So we've got only two choices, Sickage
Essentially.
and so I had a really nice conversation with the business manager at Arlington Heights, and they're only paying $8,000 for their audit, while we paid Eater Casella like 15,000
yeah.
something. So
15,310.
310. The reason they pay so little is they are part of the municipality. Yet they're having their own audit, which gets bundled up into the larger Sickage audit at the municipality level. So we can't, it's apples and oranges. So I also spoke with our old audit firm, which is now ADA, and Chris McClure, who was a partner on our account. I left him a message the week before we spoke, Monday, which was yesterday, and he has offered us a price of $16,000 for the audit with add-ons of just inflation for 3 years. So we'll see what happens after that. So as much as I always like to embrace the spirit of the bidding process and all of that, we're really kind of down to 2 firms and other unknown firms, because it's really 3 firms who do this. So,
Can I ask a
one more thought, and then I'll entertain questions. Since this is a professional contract, we don't have to do that. We could accept their offer. The plus side is we have worked with them before. We know exactly how they work. They know how clean our books is. Actually, his first question was, is Doug still there?
Good first question.
Before he mentioned the price. So they know our books are very clean and all of that stuff. So, yes, questions?
Is it easier to find an auditor or a new bookkeeping company? Because if we move from Lauterbach,
I would say it's
do you get what I'm?
it's more difficult to transition. You can find another one, but the transition from one to a different company is more difficult for somebody who's more integrated, which is the bookkeeping, than the audit.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, is there more pools of bookkeeping
Bookkeepers.
versus auditors? So,
I don't know the answer to that.
That's a good question.
but then I don't know if Lauterbach could come back and audit what work that they had done themselves.
No, they can't, not for
Yeah.
a year.
Okay.
No, they wouldn't be able, since they're halfway into this fiscal year, they couldn't do the audit until fiscal year
Yeah.
ending 2024.
And is their contract yearly or is it for longer?
Lauterbach and Amon?
Mhm.
I don't think it's I think it's monthly.
Oh, monthly, okay.
So Grace Lake did say they had looked at continuing with Sickich, and they were very expensive. And the one thing that their assistant director pointed out was that the MD&A was not in the contract, and so they pushed that back to the library staff. So just.
That's that front letter.
And that is a reputation that Sickich has. I remember when we did this last time, I wanna say, let's see, what did they say at the time? We received their proposal, I don't have that with me, but I recall it being higher, quite a bit higher than Ed or Casella. Doesn't mean that would be the same in this case, but
Yeah.
that they have that reputation
Yeah,
anyway.
that's why we didn't go with them. So I would like to make a recommendation to the board. I don't know that we can do it today because it's not on the agenda,
Right.
to bypass the bidding process and go with our old auditors who have been 4 years gone, so we can come back to them. And we can check the bidding process, but still, there's a lot to be said to helping Doug out in efficiencies, because he's worked with it before, he knows they know exactly where they're at. 4 years will have seemed like it didn't happen. So, that is my recommendation. So do we wanna put that, I'd like to know what people's feelings are, because if it's not, if you don't feel like we can approve this at the January board meeting, then, we should know now so we can do the,
Like
RFP process.
I assume we get something in writing though?
Yes,
As well, okay.
yes.
And what do we currently pay?
15,300.
Yeah.
8,000 is the new price?
No.
Or
No.
16,000.
Oh, okay.
8,000 was Arlington Heights fee because they're a sub-audit.
Yeah.
So it's in line with what we're currently paying?
Yeah, actually, I bet either Casella would have come back with a higher price than 16.
I'm sure they would have, yes.
And Grace Lake said they're paying 25,000 for a 3-year contract.
25,000 a year?
That wasn't entirely clear, maybe not, that would be 15.
Yeah, but 25 divided by 4
Yeah,
is
it's a
like.
3-year contract,
25, I'm sorry, divided by
By
3
3.
seems too low.
yeah, maybe it is a year,
It
she
could-
wasn't clear.
The other one seems impossibly low. So. Thoughts?
Is everybody comfortable with this decision?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. I think we're good
Oh,
with that.
forgotten how that works. Somebody's missing.
So, I'm sorry, that needs to go on the January.
Yeah. So I will go ahead and talk with Chris McClure and tell him that we are going to put it for approval on the January board meeting. And if he could send us a more formal proposal.
And the firm name again is L,
Can you send that to, is ADA?
I'll ask Doug, Doug's had their contact
okay,
information.
fine.
Doug.
I'll just,
that's all.
I don't need it then, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now we need to approve
Can we
item
make a
B.
motion to approve the minutes from December 6th?
Item B, right?
Item B,
Yes.
Item B.
I'll second.
The last remaining thing to approve.
the auditor search.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought you said minutes of something.
Well, isn't that your finance committee?
Finance Committee report.
Report. Item B.
I'll second that. Discussion?
Catherine already
Catherine
seconded
seconded it.
Oh, she did, okay. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Okay, cool. All right, President's report, 27. Questions, comments, concerns? Anyone else have a report?
I wouldn't call it a report, but a question. I noticed that the self-checkouts were down for a good portion of the weekend.
Yeah, that has to do with the new internet. We changed ISPs on Friday, so this is where we've reduced our costs but increased our speeds. And due to that, even though we indicated the change to them, the service of Bibliotech has gone downhill, so they were slow to
They didn't change the whitelisting for your IP addresses?
Correct.
Got it.
But it is up and running as of what, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. this morning, I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it was,
so-
you know, it did.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, so Ryan.
Just a couple of updates of things that are in the report. I wanted to mention, there was a question about, obviously the consolidated election. As of right now, we have 4 candidates that have filed their papers, happen to be 4 incumbents. So what traditionally happens is that when people file, they either file, I mean, it could happen in the middle of the week, it could happen tomorrow, but usually what happens is either people file at the beginning, so they can, have a crack at the lottery to be first on the ballot, or they might file at the end of the day on Monday, between 4 and 5 next Monday, so they're last on the ballot, or go into a lottery to see who's gonna be last on the ballot. So right now, that's our candidates for the board, and we'll know the final candidates 5 p.m. on Monday. So that's the update on the consolidated election in April. The annual appeal letter, I'm gonna look at my email, because Laura sent me an update, and I should have written it down when I read that email initially, in terms of how we're doing. Okay. We've raised just a little over $4,500 with our annual appeal. So it's still early, and I'm hoping by, as the month goes on, that number will raise closer to around $10,000, which is what we're hoping to raise with the annual appeal. And Joe asked me a question about EDI, and I just wanted to let the board know. One of the, I can talk about this more, and this is something we're putting in place. We started to put in place with a few committees, but we're going to fully put in place in January. We are introducing a new committee structure to focus on certain areas of the library, and these committees will incorporate EDI, like all of them will have that in the committee charge. So that's what we're focused on in terms of EDI initiatives right now, is we're building this committee structure. So I wanted to mention that, and I can answer any questions you might have about it, although it hasn't been formally launched yet. So a couple other quick things. Hopefully everyone indicated their t-shirt sizes for the 50th birthday t-shirts, and then passwords. I think I saw people changing them as they came in, so hopefully we're all up to date on passwords. So any questions about anything?
I will just add, and I can talk more about this after the meeting if y'all want, but Ms. is no longer with Senator Johnson's office
Oh.
or Candace.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that.
So I'll let you guys know who her new staff is, or
Okay, all right.
who Maria should reach out to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the AIA agreement?
Yeah, talk about the longest agreement ever to get done. And I indicated in the packet I would talk about some reasons why. I think there are 3 reasons with varying degrees of responsibility. First of all, when we received the contract, this was when Kevin was retiring. So initially with this process, there was some delay on our end as I started to take over the process. But then really it got bogged down by their contract person at Wold, who our attorney requested some information that wasn't forthcoming, and just the general back and forth, which was really slow. And then I had a conversation with Joe about, I felt in this case, it was that our attorney we did not get the best service, honestly. And that's something we could possibly talk about in the future. But the good news is, it's been heavily scrutinized, there's been a lot of back and forth, and I am confident that this agreement protects the library financially if, heaven forbid, there was an accident in the installation of these HVAC units on the part of whoever we end up hiring. Because this is the professional group that's going to help us through this process. There still will be a bidding process, and this will go out to bid. This is a huge project, as you all know. So any questions or concerns about the agreement or attached to writer?
And to be sure I'm understanding, this is the agreement with the engineer architect professional firm. We still have a bid process for the contractors who will do the actual work as designed by the engineers.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, who would like to make the motion?
I move that the library approve the AIA B101-2017 agreement and rider for the 2023 HVAC improvements, Wold Architects and Engineers as presented.
I think we should say that the board approved them.
That's
Sorry,
what
that's not what I said?
You said the
the
library.
library.
Oh, the board, sorry.
And you're seconding, right, Wendy?
Discussion? You want a roll call for this? Okay.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Flores,
Aye.
Arnold, Hamilton,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Sutton absent, Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Now, the actual report is here.
Yes.
I'm gonna pass it both ways here, thanks. Which, hot off the press, I mean, this has been in the works, and there's been a little bit of back and forth with Lauterbach and Amon. So this is prepared by Lauterbach and Amon, this is based on the results of our audit, and this is necessary, because we need to submit this to at the end of the year. So any questions about this? This was reviewed by Doug, and obviously, we're working with Lauterbach and Amon during this process, he didn't see any errors.
I spot checked just a
Did you
couple of
see anything?
things.
Yeah, okay.
No errors.
Okay, who would like to make the motion?
I move to accept, what's the name of this thing called?
Treasurer's report
It's
of annual
it's
receipts
10B,
and
the
disbursements,
motion's
yeah.
written out.
Well, I don't want to move to accept my own report, so.
Okay, I can make a motion that the board approves the treasury report of annual receipts and disbursement FY 21-22 as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Let's have a roll call.
Sutton absent, Flores,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, any other agenda items for the January regular meeting, other than what's on the list? Okay. I move that the board enter into executive session 5 ILCS 120/2C1 to review the performance of the executive director with executive director Levergood present.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Okay, which clock is correct now? Oh, they're both the same.
7:25.
Oh, they're not.
I think we maybe got them fixed, 7:25.
They're closer anyway. 7:25. All right, we're back in session.
8:10, right?
Okay, let me see, I gotta find my agenda.
8:10.
Yeah. All right, I move that the board accept Executive Director Livergood's performance evaluation and increase his compensation to $153,603 beginning January 1st.
I'll second.
Any, any discussion? All those in favor? Oh, no, let's have a roll call.
Arnold,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Flores,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Sutton absent, Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Thank you.
All right. Are we, pardon?
I didn't write the number.
Oh,
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
okay, now I gotta find my agenda. Anyone want to speak in public forum? Any announcements besides what's on here? All right, who would like to move to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Abstain, opposed, abstain. All right. Thank you, everyone.